Time it runs regardless, by the sounds of things. Not mine. It's made to put out of the way. And I don't really know. The owner doesn't know exactly what they want to do with it. It's immaculate. Brilliantly immaculate. Runs perfect. But yeah. That's interesting. Anything on the other side? No. Very quiet. That's TD200. No buttons, of course, here. So, TD200 might not reverse, basically. There was one with buttons, but essentially one just gave you a cool down, no air, and maybe a buzzer option sometimes. And you got the top of the range one, which is I've got, but it doesn't work. So that's great. Yes, it reverses. So it looks like I think it's 30 over 4. So 30 seconds reverse, 4 minutes forward. Let's see if this works. So just quickly go and turn it on. So this came from oh, sit on. There you go. Needs a good boil wash out. Bit of dust there. So they have spun tested it. This is from auction. But what they do, the ones, so this is near Birmingham, Lichfield. What they do is they will pat test it and they will spin test it. That's all they'll do, but you know. So that dust is indeed from the Spider. Once we cleared it, hopefully it will stop it corroding anymore. You can do it sometimes. That's the as well, look at that. There's like a hole in basically this, and then they put the plastic over the top. Yeah, so 1600 spin. It's got the weight sensor, so hence why it says 1L34. As we load up more. Yeah, we know, right, okay. And then that will go up as well. Etc. So interestingly, we've got stains on this. Far too many stains, to be honest. It's the same, so obviously we've got Water Plus. Hasn't done anything, so that will be Water Plus. Probably a level 2 rather than anything else. We've got shorter course, I'll take it off. Time, we've got extra quiet, which activates rinse hold. And then at the end you can take it off. It looks like it's added on time. It probably adds on more rinses. Right, so the Water Plus is Water Plus only. With this one you have to select extra rinse separately. Except pre-wash, we can set the soak. And we can set rinse hold. Looks like we can change how much time we want, for example. You've always got short though. Right, we've only got minimum iron, saying now 10. Again, I think once you load it up, it will come a lot longer. So, right. Further programs. We've got settings. But if we scroll down, right. Interesting. So this does have standard eco, which is 2 hours 59, but I couldn't tell you where. Load sensor needs resetting. Right. So this is the top of the range version of that. Interesting, they give you 100 RPM steps for this spin. Interesting. No, that's messing with it. By the way, you can't have it higher than 1600 RPM. With 1600 RPM standard, that's its maximum, unfortunately. Just gone into its actual hidden settings, and no, you can't do that. But we can set it to Australia. I do like the Australia variants because short becomes actual short. It's weird. Anyway, right, first thing before I kind of hook it all up, put the water on, just need to undo this. Ah. Definitely gets hot. Right, so this is actually ridiculously the first time I've opened this up in, so I got this what, 6 years ago with an error code. I mean, the error code I think was technically for, you know, that is from that. It's all smashed. So there's your pressure switch. That goes up there and it sits inside the actual board, believe it or not. Right, there's your motor. So I need to get to the brushes on the motor. Because there's so much carbon in here, I believe that's probably what the issue is. Over everything. I believe that it's actually the float switch is fastened underneath. I didn't know around there as well. Right. So. Right, try and find the brushes. And take the motor off. So it's hung in by one bolt there, and then it kind of hangs there. Right, okay. Surely you can get it to the back. Let's just put the thing on. Try and take the back off first. Right, take a look at this mealer a bit further, and yeah, it's not looking good. I thought initially brushes the reason why it won't work, but they're pretty new brushes. Right, there's another thing we want to test though, is these. They're wired in parallel with the brushes. Let me just double check. So that goes through there, and that goes there. I mean, those don't actually go anywhere. Oddly, it's in parallel, yeah, it's still weird. Okay. So, what about this float switch then? Does this float switch need sorting out as well? Because that is causing an issue. Or is it just the float switch that's broken? Right, I'll put that back together. I'll look at this float switch next. Right, so we've still got the old error codes coming up from before. Now I don't know so I've broken the flood switch, so it cannot be enabled, but the actual micro switch itself is clicking, but whether there's a connection there, I don't know. I don't know whether you're supposed to reset this as well, so let's try that. Let's try reset it. Yeah, interesting, it limited the spin. Yeah, and they smell terrible. Yay! back to that mealer. So, this older one. Right, so the next thing we're going to track is the continuity on the heater. I'm just wondering whether it will just flash up check drain and check in let regardless if there's just a fault in general. But the main wash indicator indicates there's a heater fault. So let's have a look. So the heater, apart from being down there, this attached to this piece of flimsy plastic here, that is a heater relay box. Although it's a very primitive one by the looks of things. That's a PCB version. I believe the ones on the actual industrial mealers are proper, they're just proper full-on relay switches. So it could be if this is blown. So we're going to check the heater first naturally, and then we could always change this out. So this is like I say, it's a little PCB thing with the 2 relays for the heater and the NTC switch. So yeah, let's take a look. And just like that, the batteries don't work. Yay! So we need to change batteries in this. Now, that's also the battery. Yeah, I'm not spending £3.50 on a Duracell. So we've got an Ever Ready for £1. Put this in. Ah, let's test the heater then. So, we're going to test it for a few things. We can test the heater. We want to test the. So the heater is reading 28 ohms, which is right. And we've got the NTC to test. So this is a weird one, but you got to test it as you'll get something like a few thousand ohms or something. Right, so we pulled the NTC out. This is it. So what we want to test now is resistance. So the NTC's constantly got a resistance. They do vary from one to another, and that would then send the signal back, and the computer, the electronics will then dictate what temperature that is. So you're normally reading in sort of say thousands of ohms, yeah? So we've got 120,000 there. Right. So you can't continuity test it because it just won't register anything. But you can do high resistance. And the higher, so we're wanting about something like a resistance of anything that isn't millions or sort of nothing. It's really hard to try and get these onto there. You can do it. It's just really, really difficult. So I've got one, it's reading about 110,000 10,000 ohms roughly on that right now, which to be fair could be right. So why have we got a heater problem then? So the heater's fine, the NTC is fine. I can go back in. So the only other thing we can test is the little resistor box up there, the little box it goes into. Which you can buy. You can actually buy replacements. Now, I'm going to test that next. Yeah. So this is the heater relay. Yeah, very uniquely, Miele have separate heater relays on their washing machines. Unlike a traditional brand, say. Normally, so what will happen? Normally, take like this Scholtes Maze JLA thing here. Right. Take that for example. That will have that in, right, separate from the main board. But if they're made to make a domestic version, they would just integrate it into the main board, and that's because these click. In fact, if you notice with commercial machines, you'll get a proper clack when the heater kicks in, and that's because of this relay. That relay is substantial. Now, you can't put one of them from a commercial machine onto one of these, but that is one difference between, let's say, a Little Giant and this. A Little Giant uses a proper relay. This uses this, which is still separate, and it's great, you can change it out. It's Miele, so it probably still costs like £1 million. This is actually 2012. This is a 2012 model. How interesting. And I bought it 7 years ago. 5 years ago. 6 years ago? 1, 2, 3, 4... 6 years ago I bought this. So it was only 6 years old when it broke. Yikes. That wasn't very good then, was it? And it looks like it's already gone through a set of brushes, so I presume it's had a lot of hours. Probably. So I reckon this is gone. I'm going to test it properly first. So we've got power in, that goes through there. Oh, sorry, wrong way around. Wait, so that sits in that way. So, look. Sorry, so you've got, that sits there. So power in goes in the bottom. Power out to the heater goes there. And then that is an NTC reading-y thing, which actually goes from the board to that, so we'll test that first. So it's very black along all that track there, can you see? So between the what looks like the NTC relay pins and these actual relays are black. Try a relay box like this to make it work. The trouble is, if that's going to the board, has that been sent by the board and fried it, or has that been just you know, continuous use? Now, let's take a look at this from auction the other day. Literally, this is auction just gone. There was a Ford Escort XR3i in that auction, and I really wanted that. I wanted to, oh no, this is horrendous. Look at that! Ew! Ew. I haven't even started yet. Oh no, it's horrendous. It's full of, basically full of, oh no. Right, let me clear this out first and then we'll come back to it. Oh! Right. Oh, hit record. Right, switch it on, put it on spin. No sound from the pump though yet, weirdly. I mean, is the pump being that quiet? And there's a jet. Jet system's working. The meters that water already turning disgusting. Well, I put this on the paint, which is hand rinsers, the first rinse. Yeah, I think that's already it doesn't surprise me. The actual door seal, the bit you can see is fine, but underneath it is would have been black slime, and it's actually dried on. Oh yeah, you can see it now. Look. Okay. Feeler. So the meal's on. I put it on hygiene actually because it gives it a actual longer wash, much longer wash. And with water plus, of course. Well, that's where it's up to. You see all the bits coming off now. So it's full lime scale. Because that pump's quiet, I reckon the drain pump's quiet. Put on R for drain. Okay. That's annoying. I can hear something, I think. Yeah, I can actually hear the pump. No, I can hear the pump. It is actually there, and it's whizzing away. It cannot drain, though. So the pump itself is clogged. Alright. So, hang on. Wait a second. So I've got it to actually start to drain. I mean, I've had to bang it to get it to go. Look, see, shake it, ready? Oh, is it up there? It stops. I'm going to siphon it off. Little bits in it. That is a lot of water. Drain that. Right, we got this. It's a WD-1261. This is a later version because it's got green and blue. The original one would have been orange and red. I think orange and grey, should I say even. Right. These out. Original hoses. So it's covered in this, but I'm not entirely sure if it's like crud from, you know, say limes. I'm not sure if it's lime scale, but the actual dry bit here is full of it. So right, before we turn it on again, we'll just have a quick look at the filter. Okay. Yeah. So again, we're going to clean this out first, and then we'll come back. Okay. Right. This camera's getting really dodgy now. I'm playing record and it's not doing anything. Anyway, the pump's working. Yeah. Now I'll empty that and then we'll get it going. Right, so we've just put this on to 95 to wash. It does immediately advance, so it advances 1, 2, and then it will go on to pre-wash, basically, or pre-wash fill, and it will advance to cold and hot. So when it gets to D, it'll be washing. Yes, very odd, but that's how it works. So this is not a jet system one. The hole for the jet system is in the seal, just not punched out. So. Right, let's take a look at this. This is a Hotpoint Natis, is that right? What's the model number? BIWDHG75148UKN. Got the bump there. So I'm not sure if it's kind of like full of like tissue at the minute. And rubbish. There we go. Weasley. Hold on. Hang on. Hang on. That's there. Right, let me just there it is. Clear, just disgusting, that's all. Full of the usual liquid gunk built up in it. Right, so test it. You have changed the beep slightly on this one. Might come up with an error code straight away, but we'll see. Nope, not doing it this time. So it's on 80 for auto tests. I bought this probably because it went cheap, but mostly because it's a washer dryer and it has like special programs. So it's got shirts and t-shirts program. That is a complete wash and dry. Obviously you've got mixed wash and dry, which is I presume mix 40. And it's got pre-iron, which is I think steam. And then steam refresh, I'm not entirely sure. I'll have to read up on it a bit. Oh, I'll start seeing that. We'll have a quick read. So let's have a look. We've got. So I want mixed wash and dry, Pro 1, wash and dry, mixed garments, cotton synthetics up to 3.5 kilogram. It's got this weird noise, can you hear it? Weird clunk. Something's definitely loose, let's put it that way. If I go wrong, I'll get that this is loose, but that's not the point. Is that pulley loose? Possibly. That pulley looks loose, strangely. I knew it was clunking when I was like jiggling around the drum, so it's a bit weird, so let's have a look. Right. Surely. Yeah. By the way, that might sound horrendous, but if it's because there's a lot of lime scale and I've just put citric acid in, it would have just dislodged all the lime scale by now. It could also be bits of the spider. There's also that possibility. Right, so we'll go with this. So, what's weird with this is, yeah? Right, so what we're going to just do is take the belt off. Okay. What's odd, look at this, is there is slight play. Look. Trying to see if there's any cracks, and like it's where it meets and gets welded, but I think it's alright. Just loose. Trouble is though, somebody's already had a go at this. Yeah. I mean, it's a metal pulley, which is a bit odd. It's odd because they're normally plastic. Let me have a look at something. car that came from around Birmingham. Yeah. Hard water. Hopefully it is just all limescale. It's got to go for a second wash in a minute. Right. Got to take this out. I'll put another machine in whilst this gets repaired. Tap. Now, have they changed to aluminium pulleys over plastic ones? Or have they changed it? You know, what's the reason for the change? Why is this loose? Oh yeah, this is fully heated and then advanced and washed and gone to cool down, and it's now draining out. It's draining out absolutely fine. Hot point! It's a WM55. So WM55 means that apart from being a 1200, 2, 3, it's an FHP motored machine, which means also I think program D should be about 3 hours long. Yeah, because I think this then ran literally till about 2001, and then you had the WMA versions after that. Right, 93158110. Yeah, I can never figure it out because apparently they run in 7s, not 10s. It's weird. So yeah. Actually, that's nice. That's actually, ooh, yes, that's on properly. It's not exactly in the best condition. Something's actually been here, it's all been scraped off. It's weird. It's got a bit of like rot at the bottom, tiny bit underneath. It's quite common for it to rot underneath the drawer. It's fair at the bottom as well. But it's also quite common for it to stay immaculately white, which it has done. Phone in, because that's an S20. I've had it for 5 years. And sure enough, the battery is now pretty much had it. In fact, a lot's had it on that phone. I can't even call properly on it anymore. I have to use Bluetooth speakers to speak to anybody, otherwise they will not hear me on the other end. It's really smooth. So with that Zanussi, what I'm going to do, let it run as normal to the end, and then put it on drying, because to dry you have to push half load to make it dry. Slight knock, could be a weirdly dry bearing, could be the spider. Not too bad though at the minute, luckily. I'll let it go up to max spin and see if it gets any noisier. Don't think it will. It'll just get more frequent, I think. Oh yes, and that is the correct programming. So yes, this has the latest programming on it. That hasn't cut out, that is how it does it. So the first versions, the early versions, and yes, that's an FHP as well, not a GEC. The first versions, it does its burst, and then obviously it'll go up to 600 and 1000. 900, whatever it is on the final spin for the synthetics. But now, this is on both the synthetics and the common side, it will do basically the interim spin version, and then go up to max spin. Can you notice how smooth it is as well? The knock is actually starting to stop now. Or shall I say, it's not getting louder, so that's the good thing. I think it's just normal. So, right, put some cleaner in, put it on C, let it do its thing. This. Oh, that's reflecting off it. There we go. So many childhoods right now. Just noticed something. Well, I swear the WM53, which was the 1200 GEC old version, has a variable spin dial. Am I missing something here? And if I'm working that out right as well, obviously the WM54 was the FHP 1000 version, and the 55 was the 1200 version FHP, with now a ditch variable spin selector. Okay, which means there was also no 800 version of the FHP version. I'm going to let it get to heat, and then we'll go from there. Just my personal opinion, yes, the FHP motor isn't as iconic as the GEC motor, but it makes a nice noise, and it was obviously a lot quieter. I mean, look at these two now. These are both now running. Right. Look how quiet that is. That's just as quiet as that. Well, maybe not quite as quiet. But the thing is, the only thing that is noisy is that timer. But that, to me, is even more iconic. This Aquarius timer, because that's what it is, Aquarius timer. I know this is a beta version later on, but it's the same noises, the same... Now we're on to heat. Now we'll see if it heats. Hey! Oh no, just have to de-int it. See it heats in it. But that timer, that ticking, is iconic. There does appear to be similar variants of this timer. The Grenier uses it, and the Bosch WFF series, they use it as well. But not the same. The Bosch WFF is like just really quiet, it occasionally just ticks. The Grenier is very similar to this. And yes, the whole machine isn't. I haven't leveled it. I'll level it before. I'll put some washing in later on, say once it's done, and then we'll go from there. And then it should be fine. We have started to heat. That's boiling up now. Watch. It work. No idea why, because the pump was already free. So we'll test it out properly next, shortly. Mostly after that was washed. Right. So test the dryer on this. Does auto half load do it, or do you have to set it on the program first? Oh no, it's gone past H, hasn't it? No, it's fine. That's right. H, spin. Nice green LED, say it's drying. Right, we're going to run that now for about half an hour or so. So normally after around 8 to 10 minutes it will get to temperature. There is a stat that resets at about 80 degrees, something like that. They can fail, we know this, we've had it 100 times. So let's make sure that works. Sure enough, yep, that dryer is fully working. Look, ooh, got the grime coming out of that. Cool. That's done. So I put some clothes in, see how they turned out, and they washed fine. They smell good, so that's good. So that means the drum's clean and they're all ready to, what's the potty, rock and roll. Right. So that's fixed. Then we're going to swap this over with that one. Right. Right. That's draining now. Powder, citric acid. By the way, I actually don't know what's in this powder. It's only a small amount, but this mix of like DAS, bicarbonate, soda, and all sorts in it. So it's quite powerful stuff. jet system run off a pressure switch? Let's put some stuff in on Colour Synthetics. Just testing out the suspension. That's advanced a few times. Can't tell if it's heating up yet. So the spin capacitor has broke actually on this, or sorry, just thought, because they said that the imbalance thing, right, and of course that means if it's imbalanced it won't spin. In fact, that's what it does. So if it tips. But there is something missing from that, because normally what happens, what it actually does, to make it rebalance, right, it will go from that, then when it kicks in, right, it actually goes back to the wash stage. So right now, there is no spin. So we need a capacitor. There's two capacitors in there. Got to change one out. Open it up at the back. Right, so this is your metronome. Little micro switch there. So to be fair, all it does is push against that micro switch. And it's not pressing it, so right. So we've got two capacitors, got one there and one there. I can't tell which is which. Let's unplug one. Work out which one's the wash motor. In fact, come to think of it, why don't just go get the two capacitors off the other one? We know that one works. Well, they did when we last used it, of course. So, right, that's up there, we'll get him. It's heating. so I've changed over the 8 microfarad capacitor. Let's see if it works. No. But I'm going to try something else as well. So, whilst it's in spin mode, I need that. Right. So, what I'm going to try and do is make it tumble. Bendy. So this is how you test. Yeah, so it's so if I've changed that one for some reason on my on the scrap Bendix, as I like to call it, is gone. It's missing. So whether it's been taken off for another machine, I say another machine, I mean something like, well, actually, let me just go check something. Give this door seal a bit of a clean. I'll just check the dryer. So, oh yeah, that's my fan. Right, that spun. I saw it. I didn't film it, but I saw it on the first intermediate spin, and it spun absolutely spot on. There doesn't appear to be any play in, like, the dampers aren't bouncy. So the dryer will automatically, I forgot to set the timer there. The dryer will automatically come on after H. Do it again. Fan's not exactly healthy, is it? We'll change the fan out then. We'll give it a good clean anyway. Just make sure it works. Make sure it doesn't trip the electric. Make sure it heats. Right. Drip at all. It's going through quite a bit of water. You can hear it dripping. That's how much water is going through. Right. Yeah. It's really hot. Not replaced the door yet, but we're going to test it now on just a quick. So first thing I'm going to do is a quick rinse and spin. next time. That's interesting. So I have filmed obviously an XL jet system before. I've obviously got my washing machine version 1450, which stuffly works, it's just buried. But I think I'll film this for washing machine TV because it's a washer dryer, and why not? Yeah, for some reason the motor is making, hear it? Slight raspy noise. Like the commentator is not 100% perfect, but I can't feel anything on the commentator, and there's no signs of, say, burn damage from the brushes on it. The only thing I can think of is that the brush, the one brush, sorry, is slightly chipped. A little bit. Right. Hey up. Whoa. Why does not put it in? I do that, put it down there. That'll absorb most of the water. Yeah, because it's on the quick wash, right, you actually put more water in. Okay, so the raspy noise is on the washing side, per se, not on the spin side. I'll put some cleaner in and we'll get that going. No, I'll test this in a minute and go. But it's very ropey. Very ropey. Watch. There's no belt. And just to test, we'll switch it on. There's definitely no felt bearing. It's all gone. Ah, let's see what works then. Does anything work? So that's quite neat. I do like that. That's a push and pull out system. Buzzer? Does the buzzer work? That's an anti-crease mode, by the way. Sure it is, because it will advance in a minute and like this one. And then buzzer. Neat. But the motor's still working, so the belt has detached, snapped, something like that. Quickly take the top off. Well, if there was a belt, it's gone. The belt there. Yeah. It snapped. Has it snapped? So it's just fallen off? Do you know what? That belt's fallen off. But it would need replacing anyway. Look how cracked it is. Yeah. At least felt bearing. All bearings need doing. Shame. What I was going to do is just run the heater because you can, because the fan still works, we can still vent, strangely. I think, hang on. No, it can't. Oh no, it can. Yeah, we can actually, because the fan's there. It's that belt driven as well. Yeah, it must suck the air through. Right. Okay, I'll put the lid back on and just quickly test it on heat. Make sure it's fine. Nah, I won't bother actually. Nah, it's fine. Right, I'll pull that away. So yeah, that's properly up to temp. It stinks. And these smell bold. So, yeah, looks like the tub's all cleaned out. There's quite a bit of... Oh, actually. Yeah. Fluff from the dryer. Right. Towel's done its job that I threw down before. Soaked up all the water. Like literally just throw a towel down. It will just absorb. Yeah, nearly it's pretty much soaked everything. Imagine it's going to add to it anyway. Right, I'm going to throw a little lot in the dryer, along with this little lot. Put that in the dryer. Right, I think that's stable. Now we'll put some washing in. I'll have a quick glance at the balancing. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to. Well, that's washing. I'm going to stick this hot point in. Don't know if it fully works. I'm going to clean it up, ready. I'm going to film it. Yeah, this stinks still. We're getting there. They smell fine. They smell clean. That's good. Looks like it's worked. Cleaning it out. Proceed to the door now.